Hi everyone, welcome to another Pokemon trading card game match, and today we have what I hope is a rather close match. I know how it ends, I'm not going to spoil it for you guys, but I wasn't actually here to actually watch the match. I was busy playing my own match somewhere else. This was actually a league challenge that this took place at, so people actually brought competitive decks and tried to actually win to get championship points and stuff. Not much championship points, but championship points nonetheless. Just participating got you a play point, and you need play points to go to nationals, so... Anyway, let's get a little background on these guys. On our left is Trainer, who I have featured in many videos, and on my right is Dietrich, who I've also featured in many videos. Also, YouTube name Ace567, I'll have a link to his channel in the description. And honestly, I don't know exactly what they're playing. I think Dietrich is playing his fighting deck and Trainer's playing his Virizion Genesect deck. I might be wrong, but we're about to see. Anyway, I saw a Plasma Energy. It's definitely a Virizion Genesect deck that Trainer's playing. And it looks like Dietrich started out with a Trubbish and something else, so... let's see. In this matchup, I don't really know who to favor. Oh, we start out with Mewtwo, okay. I'd probably favor Trainer, honestly. Just because, oh man, I am so sorry about the glare. I am so sorry, guys. Anyway, that is a Virizion. That is his active Pokemon, and he attached a Grass Energy to it and just played a Skyla. If Trainer can get a Genesect setup, even without using Megalo Cannon, even without using its G booster, just using Megalo Cannon over and over for 100 damage on Dietrich's Pokemon, then with a Muscle Band, that's 120. If Dietrich plays a small Landorus, the non-EX version, then that's a knockout on that Landorus. It's a knockout on Garbodor. It's basically a one-hit knockout on everything except for Dietrich's EXs, which G Booster can take care of. On the other hand, Dietrich is playing a fighting deck, which just doesn't... I mean, it deals a ton of damage with all the stuff that was introduced in Furious Fists. Anyway, we see Trainer got something with his Skyla, and Dietrich's turn, he played a Karina to get a Float Stone, probably for that Trubbish, just to get abilities locked out as soon as possible, and a Landorus EX. And Landorus is one of those tricky Pokemon. It has 180 HP, so traditional methods of knocking out things like a Charizard EX with Muscle Band just will not knock it out in one hit. There is one thing that can knock it out in one hit, and that is G Booster from Genesect. So, yeah, Landorus would be in a bit of trouble in case Trainer Trainer got a Genesect powered up and a G Booster. But right now, Trainer does not have the Genesect out. So, we'll just have to see what happens. We're going to see a Float Stone on the Trubbish and Landorus there. There's no energy attachment from Dietrich's turn. That's really unfortunate. With fighting decks, you need to get an energy out there at every single chance you have. Just because the more energy, the more damage. So, losing out even one energy during your turn can really hurt you, especially later down the line. We're going to see a Genesect from Trainer's side and a Plasma Energy onto the Virizion EX just to power it up. Otherwise, he would have wasted a Plasma Energy. It's a good thing he did that, too, because he did not get a energy at all off of that Juniper. So, he does have a full bench, and there's a Mr. Mime there, so Landorus's Hammerhead is not doing any damage to the bench, which is very vital. That being said, we know that there's a Garbodor in Dietrich's hands, so that ability will be shut off. We're going to see an Emerald slash and 2 energy onto the Genesect. We see a Fighting Energy. No, that's a Strong Energy on the Landorus. Garbodor, Hypnotoxic Laser, and it's a Heads, so even though that Virizion has Verdant Wind, the ability is shut off because... there's a lot of stuff that happened there. The ability is shut off because of Garbotoxin, so all other abilities no longer are in play. And Dietrich just plays Super Scoop up there, which is huge. He flipped heads, so he got to bring that Mewtwo and Muscle Band back into his hand. He promoted his Landorus to become the new active Pokemon, put the Muscle Band down, and then put down the Mewtwo. That's really amazing. So, We're going to see a Hammerhead there for a whopping 70 damage. And then it's 80 after poison. Hold on. Wait. It should be 80 after poison. Yeah, it is. Sorry, that's 2 dice on the Virizion. I just... and then he did 30 to the benched Genesect. Now, Trainer's still asleep. He's going to energy switch one of the grass energy onto Genesect, probably because he realizes this Virizion's probably going to die soon. He's going to play his Shadow Triad for the Colress. Definitely want to save those Shadow Triads for G-Booster whenever possible, but here, he just didn't have any other option. Just Colress for next turn. And he is still asleep going into Diedrich's turn. Diedrich just got a huge upper hand here. That Super Scoop Up flip and the Garbotoxin, that just really gave him a huge advantage. And people don't really expect Super Scoop Up that much. I mean, maybe they should, but it's just been out of format for so long, people forget that it exists, and that is really, really good. It's so easy to forget that. You know, once it's out of format, you just get in the mindset of, I don't have to worry about it anymore. But now it's back in format, and it's really hard to get back in that mindset. And Diedrich did a huge Colress for 7. He got a double colorless energy, which he put on his Mewtwo. No other Pokemon, though. He could use the computer search to get one if he wanted, but, well, maybe he'd like to wait for a little later to get something. He is in no rush right now. He's just going to Hammerhead for the knockout, and then put 30 to the Genesect. And takes 2 prizes just like that. And all of a sudden, he has a huge advantage in this game. That Genesect still needs 1 more energy while Trainer top decked 1 and got a G-Booster. He has that's huge. If he didn't top deck that energy, well, he does have the Colress, of course, from that Shadow Triad. But, well, he's still in a pretty good position. The G-Booster and energy both in his hand at the same time. He's going to be able to knock out this Landorus and tie both of them on prizes. And we do have the Deoxys EX on the bench too, which adds 10 to all of Genesect's attacks. So right now that G-Booster is actually doing 210 damage. Shut up, Car. And, well, he Colress for 7 there. He got all sorts of stuff, but nothing he probably wants to play right now. He's just going to G-Booster for knockout, take his 2 prizes. And Diedrich promotes Mewtwo. Now, oh, actually, no. The Power Connect is shut off because of Garbotoxin. Diedrich will play a Starling Megaphone. Now the G-Booster's in the discard pile. But if Trainer has a Shadow Triad, he can easily get that back. But the problem is he also would need an energy and an energy switch to knock out this Mewtwo. And maybe he doesn't want to do all that right now. Is it really worth burning through so many resources just to take 2 prizes right away? Who knows? So Diedrich plays his computer search there, discarding a Seismitoad and a switch, and got a double colorless energy with it. Didn't even bother to hide it in his hand. It's just, this is what I'm getting. And he's just going to X-Ball for knockout and takes another 2 prizes. And within the span of 3 turns, 1 Diedrich, 1 Trainer, and another Diedrich, 6 prizes have been taken. That normally doesn't happen these days. Usually in the TCG these days, the games are very slow and methodic. But right here, we're seeing stuff very similar to what we saw a year or 2 ago, where people are just taking one prize, and all of a sudden the game was over within a few turns. So we're going to see Trainer promote the Mr. Mime, realizes it's pretty useless now, and he doesn't want to give up another EX because that'll just let Diedrich win the game. He'd rather sacrifice this Mr. Mime and have Diedrich only take 1 prize while also letting him set up for his turn next time. And we see an Ultra Ball. He's probably just looking to see what he actually has in his deck. He'd probably get the Virizion. There's only 2 Pokemon in his deck, and they're both Virizion EX. He could have opted not to get something, but he definitely wants to thin his deck here. His resources are half gone right now, and he really needs to make sure that he draws into what he needs in his upcoming terms, especially since he's behind right now and not in a very good position. There's only 1 energy on the board, well, 2 now, attached to Plasma Energy to Mewtwo and play Professor Juniper. But the point is, he needs extra time to just set things up. And he sees the Mewtwo War is imminent. If he had a switch and an energy switch, he could have knocked out this Mewtwo right now, but he just doesn't. He's just going to pass. And this Mr. Mime will undoubtedly go down right now. Not only is it weak to Psychic, but Mewtwo right now is dealing out a whopping 100 damage, so it's going to do 200 to this Mr. Mime. We do see the Fighting Stadium come into play from Diedrich's side, and a Hypnotoxic Laser. Don't know why he bothered playing that. Well, because he's playing Juniper, and he may as well play it anyway. That makes perfect sense. It wouldn't have mattered because Mewtwo's already doing 200 damage, but oh well. And we do see Muscle Band go on to that Landorus, which he played before the Juniper, as well as the Fighting Energy. So the Landorus right now is doing 70 damage to those EXs on Trainer's side. Nowhere close to enough to knock them out, but still it's doing way more than just the normal 30 it would normally do with Hammerhead. And it's dealing 30 to the bench because even if Mr. Mime survived, and it won't, Garbotoxin shuts off its ability, Bench Barrier. We're actually going to see the retreat into Landorus, probably because Diedrich doesn't want to lose his Mewtwo to Trainer's Mewtwo next turn. And we're going to see Hammerhead for 50. And then Poison deals another 10. That Mr. Mime is still alive. And then, of course, 30 to the Mewtwo EX on the bench. So now Trainer's in a bit of a predicament. If he lets that Mr. Mime stay there, it's going to get knocked out by Poison in between turns. Well, he's going to play a switch. If he had done that, then honestly, Diedrich probably would have been in a position to win the game. He switched into his Virizion EX, again, sorry about the glare, attached to energy and a Muscle Band, and now Emerald Slash is doing 70 to this Landorus EX, and he can get more energy into play. And right now, he just needs the energy in play. Really, this Virizion is not in any position to be knocked out in one turn unless some sort of miracle happens from Diedrich. So right now, Trainer's just playing the safest thing, and really the only thing he can do if he expects to win this game. He's still down 2 prizes. He played an in there, so he gets 4 cards. Diedrich gets 2. He's really low on options right now. We'll have to see what he gets off of this end. What both of them get off this end. Well, let's see. We see a switch, Grass Energy, Skyla, and Ultra Ball from Trainer side, and a Startling Megaphone and something else from Diedrich. And we're going to see the Emerald Slash for 70, and we're going to see 2 Grass Energy go onto that Genesect. Definitely the smart thing to do. As I said, this Virizion cannot get knocked out in one hit, and really, Trainer just needs as many energy in play as possible so he can actually start dealing damage again. Going into Diedrich's turn, he could leave this Landorus here, but, yeah, actually, well, if Trainer has a Starling Megaphone, and gets rid of that Float Stone from Garbodor, then the Genesect could knock it out. But we do see the Megaphone from Diedrich's side and an N of his own. Interesting. But anyway, yeah, if Trainer got a Megaphone, he could get rid of that Float Stone and Garbodor, which means his Deoxys Power Connect is back up, which means Genesect, if it gets another energy on it, could Megalo Cannon for 110, which is exactly enough to knock out that Landorus. But, well, Diedrich just doesn't know what's in his hand, and we're going to have to see what happens. We see the Hammerhead for knockout on Mr. Mime on the bench, and then a whopping 70 to the Virizion EX, which is amazing. And then we're going to see what Trainer does here. If he can get another energy on that Genesect and a Startling Megaphone, he can knock out this Landorus, and his abilities are all back. So he doesn't have the Megaphone, though, and I don't believe he has the Energy Switch. He's already used a lot of them this game. Right now, maybe his best bet is just to use Emerald Slash again. Diedrich has 1 prize left, So he needs to be as careful as possible, because he has 4. Right now, I wouldn't say that luck has been a factor in either of these players' game right now. They are playing extremely well. Their draws have been pretty good on both sides, and, well, right now we're just going to have to see what Trainer can do. Diedrich asked to look through his discard pile. Both players are allowed to look through the others and their own discard piles as often as they want. Anyway, we're going to see the switch into Genesect, and he does have the Plasma Energy. The Plasma Energy would power up Genesect enough to do a Megalo Cannon, but he'd be 10 short. He needs either a Megaphone or a Muscle Band. Well, he hasn't played a supporter yet, so he could... Yeah, he's going to Juniper. Well, there's the Megaphone, so if he uses that, then his Power Connect is back, and he has exactly enough to knock out the Landorus. That extra 10 damage just really meant a lot right there. But he didn't get much else. He got plenty of supporters and 1 Ultra Ball. That's just flat out unfortunate, really. We're going to see an Ultra Ball, getting rid of Skyla. I think that was 2 Skylas, actually. All he has left in his deck is a Virizion to get with the Ultra Ball. And then he has 5 cards left. So if he expects to win the game, he has to do so very, very soon. When Lysandra's Trump card comes out, and if he had it left in his deck, he could easily play that and not worry about decking out. But, you know, we'll see if that card gets any play. But anyway, we're going to just see the Megalo Cannon for 110 damage and 20 to the Mewtwo, so Trainer got his 2 prizes there. And, well, now it's anyone's game. If this Mewtwo uses X-Ball, it can deal 100 damage to this Genesect. If Diedrich had a Lysander, he could bring up the Virizion EX and do 80 to it, which would put it up to 150. So if he had a Muscle Band or another Energy and Lysander, he wins. But I don't think he has the Lysander in his hand, or the Muscle Band or Energy. Now he has Trubbish. Any combination of just a Lysander and either of Energy or Muscle Band wins him the game. Of course, Lysander... Oh, he does have the Lysander. He's bringing up the Deoxys. Ooh, that might not have been the best play. Oh, that's not what I would have done. I can see where he's going at, because Deoxys is weak to Psychic, so right now X-Ball is doing 80 to it. But there's just a whole lot to ask for. We're going to see the strong energy go down on Landorus. Unfortunately, if that was his only energy. Oh, and he played N. And this is how the game ends. He played 2 supporters during his turn. He played Lysander and N. And then it was pointed out, no, he played 2 supporters in his turn, and both players shuffle their hands in their decks. And that's an auto loss. If it's irreversible, playing 2 supporters, then you lose. So that's a very unfortunate way to lose. Diedrich was very close to winning. Trainer was very close to making a comeback. I would have loved to see who actually won in this situation. But unfortunately, Trainer won because of a huge misplay on Diedrich's side. That does it for this video. Thanks everyone for watching, and stay tuned for more.